Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Are you an inspiring entrepreneur? Or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to take your business to the next level. My name is Larry W. Brooks, and I am the author of Empowering Quotes for the Entrepreneur in You and The Entrepreneur Code. In these two books, I guarantee you there's success secrets that will take your business to the next level. I personally invite you to visit LarryWBrooks.com. Go under the books link and purchase your signed personal copy from myself. You have a great day and have an awesome 2020. Pure Hustle. It's not only a clothing brand, but it's a movement. I personally invite you to take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this Thursday. As always, man, we have a really exciting episode planned. My co-host, as always, is not only a renowned real estate broker here in the great state of Texas, but he's also a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur known the world over as the Texas Real Estate King. Here sitting in with us, even though he had to brave bad weather outside to get in with us, man. I want to thank him again, my co-host, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, brother?
Man, no complaints, Rick, man. Just chilling, man. It's been another good week. We had some great weather for the first part of the week.
Right, till this morning.
But it's funny because when I think about the weather, because I got the word, a gentleman that played a very important role in my life, my second Little League coach, the guy that really talked my grandmother into allowing me to play football, which, of course, most of you that follow my story know that football was something that was big that kind of changed my life and my career path, or not career path, but just me getting out of the situation that I was in. And so, I got a flyer just saying that he was having a wait today, and it was just different, man, because he played like an inspiration. He was very impactful on who I was. He was my first motivational speaker, I guess you would say.
First mentor, really.
He spoke life into my skill set. He spoke life into something that I didn't even know I was good at, but he saw a vision that allowed me to, for 17 years to be somebody different.
You'd be shocked at, because you never know when those type of influential figures are going to enter your life. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's only in retrospect that you can truly appreciate how important they were at that particular time. So it's good that you guys are in a place where you can tangibly understand the role that he served, and you can try to be that same inspiration for someone else.
And it was crazy because about a year ago, because his name is Jake, and for those of you that grew up in maybe the Houston area that knew about Southeast Little League, I know majority of Worthing, Yakes, those kind of Jones. You guys have probably went through his program, but he was the founder of the Raiders, the Little League team, and I had the opportunity. This is probably one of the most best moments. So about 2 years ago, I had the opportunity of speaking at the annual gala at the end of the season.
For the Little Raiders?
Yeah, for the Little Raiders. So, that was so I can say that I had the moment to tell him how important he was to me. So that was big for me, right? So, yeah.
I'm glad you had the opportunity to do that, because that I didn't know, and it's good for your life to come full circle that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure at that time you never considered that one day I'll be speaking in front of the Little Raiders too, so that's always a plus.
No doubt about it.
It's been a super busy week at Brooks and Davis. We've had a lot of cool activities this week, man. Can you tell our audience a little bit about what we got going on this afternoon?
Man, we have a calendar full of events. Just keep that in mind. So, but today, most importantly, for those of you that are going through the process of getting your licensing, you probably have already taken out your coursework, and now you're just trying to figure out how to get this test passed. We're doing a study hall. So come in, get with some other like-minded people that are actually trying to pass their exam as well, and just kind of dialogue, see what you may have seen on the test if you've taken it and maybe didn't get all the points that you needed and didn't pass the first time. Come dialogue with some other people that may have had some of those same challenges, as well as some people that haven't taken it, that has a clear mind and witty expectations on knocking it out the ballpark. So visit us, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. It's going to be in our training center, 6 to 7 p.m. here on January 21st. So come on out. We're excited to have you out there.
I invite everyone to come out and fellowship and uplift each other, because you'll be surprised how many people don't really understand that there are so many people dealing with the same challenges.
That's right.
As far as studying and getting licensed and getting into the real estate for a world from that standpoint. So I invite everybody to stop by this afternoon. But I want to get to today's guest.
Yeah. My guy.
You know, we had to bring him back last time he sat in with us. It was almost like a year.
It's been that long?
It's almost been like 10, 11 months, man, since we last seen him. And
well, I think it's because I think I trolled him so often on social media.
Right.
You know, maybe that's why I feel like it was just recently that I was seeing.
No, because I want to have him commit to doing something like this with us at least annually, once a year, because home health and having a healthy home environment is so important.
No doubt about
that
it.
is something that I want to make sure we keep on the forefront of everyone's consciousness, especially considering the time that we're living in and some of those challenges that, from a homeowner's perspective, as a family, as someone who takes care of their children, as a parent, this is something that I think we want to make sure we absolutely spotlight as much as possible. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to our audience the managing partner of Hygienitech Solutions, Mr. Ed Kampf. How you doing, sir?
Hey, thank you. So you trolled me on Facebook?
That's right. I know.
And you still invited me here?
Hey, what can I say, man? I know what a great guy looks like and acts like, man.
When people say I follow you on Facebook, the first thing I feel like doing is apologizing. But it's been a while. It was, I call it BC. You know, before Corona,
right?
Gives a whole new meaning. But yeah, when I was in, we were at the beginning stages of Corona virus, and we didn't know what was to come, and everybody was in a kind of the paranoid stage of don't touch anything, don't even touch your face.
No, I mean you did.
Don't even touch yourself.
It was so powerful because you helped to dispel a lot of myths, and you were so informative that there were some things that I was able to put into practice at home that I've kept in practice the entire time. And that's why when you reached out to Larry and myself and talked about your new book, we just knew we had to get you in because it was just so much information that you were able to bless us with last time. And it was just amazing to me that you put all that in a book. So let's talk about your book, why you decided to become an author, and what everything did you put between these pages, because I'm so curious.
Well, I got a couple more books I have to write in order to catch up with Larry right here. But,
I appreciate that.
But when I first came up with the idea of writing a book, he was the first person I called.
Right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Larry and putting me in contact with his publisher, and that was it was a fun experience. But when I came in here the first time and we talked about how to keep safe, and I decided to kind of review all the information that I put together the past 5 years, and I thought, why don't I create some type of manual for people to create their own healthy home? It's a 100-page book. It doesn't go in depth. There have been a lot of books written. In fact, 2 of the titles were "Is your home making you sick?" It's a question. One of those books was a personal journey with a family with mold, and it was just that. Another one was written by a doctor who had all this technical information with all these names of chemicals I couldn't pronounce. But none of them were a how-to book.
Right.
And I came up with the idea of creating a how-to book based on, if you follow my instructions in this book, 8 simple steps, you will never need a company like mine to come into your home, and you can create a healthy atmosphere and a healthy environment on your own. But that was where the concept came from. And it's just little things. I discussed a lot of things, mold and dust mites and things.
But not to interrupt, because you said there were 8 things in this book that if they follow, they will never have the need to call in an outside professional.
Yes.
for the people who are hearing you for the first time, could you talk about the expense that can be incurred? Because I know a lot of times, last time you were here, you talked about how the amount of money that some companies charge to sanitize, if you don't know what they're doing, the value may not necessarily be there. So talk about how important it is to sanitize your own home and do everything you can to not have to incur those type of expenses.
Yeah, it's the simple things.
Right.
Keep your home organized. An organized home is easier to clean than an unorganized home.
Right.
So, vacuum, make your bed, put things away. And that's really where it starts.
Right.
And then, and then further on, it's just regulate the climate in your home. Keep it consistent. What happens in a lot of homes, and the new construction, they're more guilty than anything else with creating dead zones.
Oh, wow.
They build these homes so tight that there are pockets of areas where there's no airflow. And where you have dead air, you're going to have issues with dust mite poisoning. You're going to have issues with mold. You come home and you're active, your kids are active, and they throw their wet shoes or their damp shoes in a closet, and there's no aeration in that closet, then you're going to have mold.
Right.
So a lot of the issues that are occurring are just some simple things where I tell people, keep your closet door open. You just let air get into every square inch of your home.
Yeah.
It's simple. So I try to keep it things where people can, it's not, I'm not saying, buy this chemical and do this every single day. Replacing air filters, I don't discuss air filters. You should be replacing them regularly anyway.
Right.
So, but it's the things that we wouldn't think about. Like when the pandemic came out, we weren't thinking about putting our hands on doorknobs and light switches before, and now we're thinking about that. We're cognizant of what we touched. So in a house, so make a long story short, which is too late, but when you buy a car, it comes with an owner's manual of how to operate it. So I thought, well, if I can write a short book that is really an operating manual on keeping a healthy home, easy to read, you can read it in 1 hour, and it's understandable. And that was the goal.
One of the buzzwords that Larry and I hear a lot, especially when we're working with buyers and sometimes sellers looking at properties that may be 5, 10, 15 years old, is there's always questions about mold. So I want to ask you, how can a homeowner keep mold out of their home, or is that even possible?
No, it's not. If you were required to get a mold inspection on every home that you sold, none would pass.
Wow.
And does that mean?
I agree with that.
And does that mean everything is, a home is deadly? I read a mold report yesterday that was sent to me where the buyer was backing out, and I talked to the buyer, and I said, the first question that you should ask me is, would you move your family into this house? I said, after reading this mold report, my answer is yes, because there are tens of thousands of strains of mold, but there's only 5 that are very prominent in the South Texas area, one of which is deadly, and that's Stachybotrys. And we hear about that, the black mold, after a flood. And you only find that in an area where it's ignored. So if a house had flooded and it's been shut down with no aeration or no AC on, the house has been vacant, then there's a chance of there being a high amount of that mold. Or if there's something that's left, a leak underneath a sink that's undetected and it's years of accumulation, then that could be black mold. But the question that I always ask when I encounter a mold report is I'll talk to the homeowner and ask them, are you having respiratory issues? Everybody has allergies. Are you having lower respiratory issues? Are you having brain fog? Are you having fatigue? Those are the signs of mold poisoning. But you take a hot shower in your bathroom, and every bathroom has this little fan, but you take a 10-minute hot shower, the windows are steamed. Well, when you have cool air hitting warm air, you're going to have condensation. And where you're going to have condensation, you're going to have an area of mold. If you have plants, live plants in your house, that brings a certain level of mold.
Right.
We live in a city with a higher mold count outside than inside. So every time you open that door, you're bringing some type of strain. But does that mean you want a mold-free house?
Right.
Well, you're never going to achieve that where you're going to have days like today where it might be 40 degrees in the morning and then 80 degrees in the afternoon. So you're constantly switching hot, cold, hot, cold.
Right.
But the issues that arise that are serious is when someone just turns, I'm going out of town for the weekend, so they turn their air off. And then all of a sudden you have an 85-degree day and you come home and you're going to stress that air conditioner out, but you're introducing warm air to cool air, so you're going to have condensation.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that the long answer to a short question?
Because the thing is that as a homeowner, routine home maintenance, I know I provide my clients with a cool little magnet, tell them what to do different parts of the year. People clean up regularly. Everyone has their day of the week where it's like, oh, we're cleaning up today. One of the things I want to talk to you about are some of those more understated issues that people may not notice that they're having. Because I know you just spoke about like brain fog, fatigue, and those things can be just so subtle that until you ask someone that question, they may not even understand that they've been suffering or those things have been lingering around or affecting their family. So I want to get into, when we come back from our break, a little bit about some of the things that you've seen as a professional that as a homeowner we need to look out for. And I want to pick your brain on when you were writing this book. Who were you writing this book for? Who do you feel like this book speaks to? Because I want to make sure that everyone who has a need or doesn't know that they have a need that's going to be there eventually has an opportunity to get your book and take advantage of all the great information inside. Everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we'll be right back.
This is Rick Davis, realtor and host of the Prime Real Estate Network. Are you currently leasing or looking to relocate to the Houston area and you find yourself falling in love with the home but aren't quite in a position to purchase? Well, no worries. We offer the Right to Purchase program. We can place you in the home of your dreams at current market rental rates and give you up to 3 years to buy. Did you know that a majority of the homes that are for sale offer better quality than those that are for rent? So why wait? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let me and my team help you purchase a home that you and your family can fall in love with. Give me a call today at 832-928-3963. And remember to follow the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be blessed.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, my co-host, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, here, live and in the building.
No doubt.
And our guest this week is the managing partner of Hygienitech Solutions, Mr. Ed Kampf. How are you doing, sir?
Good. Hey, I wanted to add one little caveat that I mentioned in the first segment
where
I talked about replacing air filters, and everybody knows to do that.
Right.
Buy the least expensive air filter that you can possibly buy. Don't go after all of these expensive ones. And the reason I say that is, you've seen the metal ones, and you've seen the ones that you have to clean on your own with a hose. But the ones that are the most expensive are the most restricting. And you're choking your AC unit. You're putting a lot of pressure on that AC unit to breathe.
Right.
Buy the inexpensive ones. You replace them regularly,
right.
and boom, you don't have to get caught up in the the ones, the blue ones that come in the pack.
Right.
Buy those and replace them regularly. Don't spend a lot of money on AC filters because the big ones will take a life out of your AC
unit.
Yeah.
Never considered it. And I thank you so much for sharing because, a lot of times you think you get what you pay for. So people will take a really big investment in filters, not understanding that you need to change them out so regularly. So there's no reason to spend that much on it. So that's great.
Yeah, I'm cheap.
Let's get to the book, Ed. Your home is making you sick. How to create a healthy home. What was your motivation and who did you write this book for? Who were you trying to speak to when you put this literature together?
Good question. Lumber liquidators fined 2 years ago $33 million. Wow. It was on 60 Minutes. For exceeding the acceptable amount of formaldehyde in wood flooring. Did you know that wood flooring had formaldehyde?
No.
No, it's a preservative. They put it in dead people. You don't think of any other application for formaldehyde. Almost every single construction material contains a portion of formaldehyde. And in my book, I give maybe a page and a half of the health effects, the detrimental health effects that it has on you. So when people move into a new home, you're having the epoxies, you're having the smell of new paint, you're having the formaldehyde, the off-gassing of all of these volatile organic compounds. I saw a good portion of my business from people who moved into their home and they were complaining about having all of a sudden allergies in their home. The chemicals that are put in carpet to keep it stain resistant and to keep it non-flammable, that's petroleum products.
Wow.
A baby crawling on a carpet is equivalent to that baby ingesting 4 cigarettes.
Wow.
So the more I learned about construction materials, latex paint, 300 carcinogens.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we're poisoning ourselves, and we don't know it. I've been in a room painting, breathing all of that in, but enamel paint and everything. But the more I learned, it's like, wow. I've approached new home builders, with, hey, you have people who are sitting in your home, for hours, for days, ingesting all of that. When a new home, after construction, nobody should be going into for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Period.
Wow.
However, my service, I could go in there in 3 hours and kill all the volatile organic compounds. Not expensive to do. So I've been talking to these home builders about, and they're like, hey, I don't have anybody complaining about it.
Wow.
So, we don't think about the fact that after a new construction, you've had 400 people go through that house. 400 contractors, 400, and then you add the realtors and you add the people who are looking.
Right.
In the age of pandemic, what are we concerned about? Other people's DNA.
Right.
So door handles and light switches, but how many people have gone through a new construction at the time of completion? Now we're cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the premise of the book came from talking to realtors about, hey, don't let mold scare you or your buyers or sellers. Don't worry about what are the other issues? Tobacco odors, that we can get rid of the smells and all of that. But there's a lot of removing doubts from people who have doubts about going into a house where there are issues. Those issues are solvable.
Right.
And we live in a very ethnic city where you have people who cook fish and spices, and then you have people who smoke, and you have people with pets.
Right.
And how many times does a homeowner say, hey, they have a pet and I'm allergic to dogs, I don't want to buy this house, but I love it.
Right.
So there's a remedy for that. So I took all that in consideration and thought, I speak a lot to realtors. I share this information. Now I can just say, read the book. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, because you actually give real world examples and directions for things that people can do at home. Could you speak to how you try to make your book digestible and accessible for everyone? You don't have to be some sort of expert or something like that to actually put some of these tips into practice.
No, it's for the common person.
Right.
Where I found the other books, there's another book called Your House is Killing You.
Oh, wow.
And I, that was a 300-page book, and it scared the hell out of me, but offered no solutions.
Right.
It's like, okay,
You done gave me all this bad news.
You gave me all this bad
You
news.
tell me how to avoid it.
But the simple things to home ownership, make sure your roof doesn't leak.
Yeah.
That's the most important part of a house is the roof.
Yes.
So and when you're when someone buying a house, if you can keep the water out of your house, you're solving the issues.
Right.
Plumbing leaks, those are things within your control. So you keep an eye as a homeowner on things that can cause issues.
Right.
I had a rental house one day and I wasn't checking on it regularly, and I found out that there was a shower pan leak that occurred for a year and a half.
Wow.
That can do so much damage.
Yeah.
But it's just the simple things. And I forgot your question.
Well,
how's everything been going with business, Ed?
Yeah, how has
I know
business
you.
been
I
in
know
21?
you rolled out
It's
the
been
book and you've been
pure
doing
hustle.
like a. Yeah,
It's
hey,
been
I
pure
love
hustle.
it. No doubt.
You
Shout
know,
out to
boy.
PH, man. Shout out to the Pure Hustle brand. Appreciate that. Yeah.
You know, I've gotten so many calls for people who tested positive for COVID. I did a realtor's house last week. They were coming out of the hospital. I got calls for grandparents who wanted their grandchildren and their children to come over for the holidays. Can you come over and disinfect? We've
Okay.
already gotten over COVID. I've been doing title companies, Fidelity and Stewart Title, where
Yeah.
somebody has tested positive, family member or a closer or a realtor or a buyer or seller.
Yeah.
So so I've been doing a lot of disinfecting.
Okay.
And it's a business that, you know, that kept me very busy, but it's not business I want to keep doing. I didn't get in this business, but there have been so many companies that have opened.
Yeah.
You know, every carpet cleaning company is open. We do disinfecting, and I've met with a handful of them, and offered some advice. And one of the most important things that I have in this book is about disinfecting. These companies that claim they disinfect, by pure definition, they're not solving 100% of the problem in a home. If there's an issue in a home, we talked about decontamination versus disinfecting. In fact, you guys did that on my video.
Absolutely.
You know, decontamination is a removal. But a lot of these companies, it's a spray, let it sit, and then wipe. You have to look at the dwell time on the chemical that you're buying.
Oh, wow.
So that's important. So people that think they're disinfecting themselves, the chemical that I provided you was a spray, then wipe.
It's been,
But
I mean, it's got nothing but rave reviews. I shared it, gave some to my mom and all that kind of stuff. So all those, the tips that you shared with us last time, man, I've definitely put into practice, and I do contribute that to a reason why I've been able to have a healthy 2020. My
Good for
family's
you.
been able to have a healthy 2020, and I feel blessed from that standpoint. Could you share with our audience how they could go about getting the book and all the ways to follow you online, Ed?
Okay, well, the book is available on Amazon. Your Home is Making You Sick. You know, Ed Kampf, you can find it. I have a platform, edkampfbook.com. If you go to edkampfbook.com, I'll be mailing it to you. I can endorse it to you. It's only $18 plus tax. It's $25 if you don't want me to sign it.
They want that signature. Ed. That's
that
what it is.
signature.
They need
And
that.
it's $100 if you want me to come and read it to you.
I like. Hey, that's even a better option, right?
It's not
You
on
get your-
audio, but I'll come here and read. I'll bring you milk and cookies and read it at your bedside. But yeah, you can visit me on my website, Hygienitech Solutions. You can call me directly. You know, the information is on the screen, and I'm happy to talk to you if you have any concerns. And I always like to find the point of least resistance.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to come in here and say you need to take this out and this out. It's like, well, let's go with what we have.
No, I urge everyone, if you are a business owner or you manage a commercial property and you've had clients in and out in your waiting room, if you detect or even have an inkling that you may need Ed services, do not hesitate. Reach out to this gentleman today. Very rarely will you find a business owner like Ed that will put in a book everything that you need to know to not need his services. But if your problem is too far gone and you definitely need help today, do not hesitate. Reach out to Ed directly via online, email. If for whatever reason you need to DM Larry or myself, we'll get you in contact with Ed. So definitely, let's get these things taken care of because we're getting towards the end of January, and we want to take our health and our family's health as serious as possible, as soon as possible. So, Mr. Brooks,
Yes, sir.
what would you like to share with the audience? What's going on in the world of the Texas Real Estate King this week?
Not much, man. I'll be around the office most of the time this week. We got a lot of different events taking place. Like, again, the study hall is taking place tonight. You want to come out. In addition to that, moving forward, we're going to be having like a vision board party. I believe that is going to be at the training center on the 23rd. So if you haven't really been able to manifest your 2021 yet, come on out. We'll be providing all of the supplies, some food, maybe a few adult beverages and things of that matter. But we want you to come on out and really just kind of get your vision in a place where you can manifest it and have some success this year still.
Hey, man, it's so important, especially in 2021, to get your goals put on a board, established so that you can hold yourself accountable and you can also have something to build upon. So I and everyone at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm invite everyone out to not only the study hall this afternoon, but also the vision board event as well. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this week. As always, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Larry and myself is just a DM, text, or inbox question away to schedule a consultation. On behalf of myself and the Texas Real Estate King, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We'll see you all the same time next Thursday, and until then, be blessed.
Be blessed.
Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC is marketing a property for sale right now that you can buy. These properties range from land lots for under $20,000 to move-in ready homes $500,000 and more, along with everything in between. To see this week's list of properties for sale you can buy now, go to bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. That's bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. If you plan on selling some real estate and you need it on the weekly list, call 713-665-8329 to speak with someone about it.